How many hours have you sat, parked, and waited in your car and no rides pop up? I used to do this for months until I finally figured it out. It's not your luck, it's not your car. Most of the time, you're not waiting at the best hidden Uber locations and you're stuck in no man's land. And you might be looking at the phone as if it owes you money. In every market, there are hidden, secret Uber hotspot locations that most drivers are not talking about. Strategic locations where rides just keep popping up, and most drivers just don't know how to find these locations for cherry picking in their city. So they end up blaming the algorithm instead. Today, I'm pulling back the curtains on the most profitable rideshare locations in any city, in any market, big or small. I'll show you exactly where you should park to trigger good ride opportunities and be at the right location, and why these particular locations in any city outperform any fake surge that Uber offers you. Oh yeah, and I'm also sharing a few secret personal locations that Uber and Lyft probably don't want me to let you know about. Welcome to Mastering the Rideshare Game. This is episode 3. In episode 1, I showed you how small rides set you up for big money passengers. In episode 2, I exposed Uber throttling, the silent Uber algorithm slowdowns that kill your earnings. But today, we're shifting gears. Because all the best strategies mean nothing if you're parked at the wrong location. Today is about best Uber locations. The difference between making $10 an hour and $40 an hour. Here's the game plan for turning your whole city into a big ass cherry picking playground.
rideXserve.
Chapter 1. Primary hotspot locations bucket number 1. The power locations that drive your shift. These 5 locations create a closed loop of high value rides that work all day in any city. And they keep you moving all freaking day. Chapter 2. What makes locations truly valuable and profitable? Not all locations are good hotspots. This chapter breaks down how to spot good hotspots using demand, timing, ride quality, so you stop driving around in circles. Chapter 3. Secondary hotspot locations bucket number 2. These are your leapfrog locations. These aren't as powerful as your primary locations, but they are fantastic secondary backup locations in order to leapfrog you to the top 5 primary locations. Quick little favor before we get started. This channel, by the grace of God, has 10,700 or more followers, and around 36,000 visitors come every single month. And somehow 75% of you are unsubscribed. You're watching my channel like as if Uber's gonna deactivate you if you subscribe. If you're one of the 75% that is unsubscribed, do me a favor, just double check and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it lets Fuber know that us drivers, we stick together and we say no to modern slavery. It's time to leave Theoryland and start this game plan or location plan. The first set of locations that I'm gonna share with you, you can just use those all freaking day. That's basically what I do. Chapter 1, primary hotspot locations bucket number 1. These are gold mine locations, the power locations. These are basically cherry pickers playground. If I'm within 10 miles of any of these 5 locations, I basically turn the app off and just head right over there and start cherry picking. Why? Because these 5 primary hotspots just don't have passengers. They have the right kind of passenger. Plus, they work like a closed loop, which means you pick up somebody from the first primary location, you drop them close to a second primary location, and then you can just rinse and repeat and do that all day. Let's go through them one at a time. Number 1, airports. If Uber is a casino, then the airport is a high-stakes table. LAX Airport, Ontario Airport, Burbank Airport, John Wayne Airport, Palm Springs Airport, San Diego Airport. Southern California has 7 major airports, and they all have a few things in common. High-paying clients and low-effort rides when you position yourself correctly at the right time at the right place. Airport passengers are mission-focused. They're not shopping around for a good deal. Airport is perfect for Excel rides, comfort rides, and the sneaky rematch trick. Throw in business travelers, tourists, retired folks on vacation. And here's the secret, you don't even have to wait in the queue. You just take a short ride out of the airport, 3 to 5 miles, then sit there and wait, bring somebody back to the airport, use the rematch and go 5 miles out and just cherry pick all day. I do this all day. I go to LAX airport, I sit, take somebody for $15, they give me a $10 tip, come right back for $10-15, and just keep doing that all day until the traffic finishes. And personally, I've made money doing this airport hack or trick in the rematch almost every time I'm at the airport. 10 minutes here, 30 minutes there, make my money, and at the end of the night, when I'm ready to go home and traffic settles down, I take that big fat ride out. I basically do this every single day when I'm near the airport, like as if it's on autopilot. The bottom line from primary location number 1 is, wherever you live, there's probably an airport within an hour or 2 away. Use that, test it out, and see how it does for you. Number 2, amusement parks. Have you ever seen what the crowd looks like around 8:30, 9 o'clock at night at Disneyland? It's chaos, and it's beautiful chaos, and it's profitable chaos. Disneyland, Universal Studios, Legoland, these aren't just theme parks, these are ride factories. People on vacation don't really want to drive, so they take an Uber. Sometimes when they get out of the amusement park, they're tired or they've been drinking, and the last thing they want to do is drive all the way home in crazy California traffic. And the best part is these riders are transitional. That basically means they go from the amusement park to the hotel, or they go from amusement park to amusement park, or they go from the amusement park to the hotel to the airport, right? Number 3, high-end hotels and resorts. These are your sleeper hotspots, literally. Places like Ritz-Carlton, the Biltmore Hotel, the Disney Grand Hotel, the Montage, La Costa Resort. Like, find in your city where the high-end resorts are, the 5-star resorts, that cost $400, $500 a night, sometimes $1,000 a night. This is where a lot of the wealthy people are going to be staying, or business travelers. Now let me repeat that. What do they all have in common? Business travelers on expense accounts. Wealthy families going to the airport. Event goers dressed like it's the Grammys. People who tip without even being asked. And these hotels hold conferences, conventions, weddings, business retreats. Basically, what I'm trying to say is they have volume, and Uber doesn't always know and doesn't flood these locations with drivers. A lot of golf courses and country clubs also fall in this location. High-end resorts basically means the supply is on the driver's side. There is more passengers there, less drivers there. So now look at how these three first primary locations work together, right? You're going to pick up somebody from the airport. You're going to take them to a high-end resort. And then somebody from the high-end resort might be going to an amusement park, right? So if you circle between these three locations, primary locations, I'm just saying it works. Number 4, conventions and event hotels. Because high-end hotels are separate from convention hotels. Like, for example, Ritz-Carlton in Laguna Beach is different than Disneyland or Hilton at the Disneyland Convention Center, right? These are two different locations. So number 4 is conventions or convention centers with hotels. Let me ask you a question. If 5,000 people are coming to the Disneyland Convention Center, where do you think they're going to stay? They're going to stay at the hotel that is right by Disneyland, right by the convention center. Few might go further away and stay by the beach, but most people are going to stay right by the convention center. Now, these convention centers are hot. For example, like the Disneyland Hilton Convention Center, because you're going to pick up somebody from the airport. Some people fly into John Wayne Airport, some people fly into LAX. Once you get everybody there, they're going to want to go out, right? So you're going to give them a ride. And when the convention is done, they're going to need a ride back. And Uber is not going to fill these locations up every single week with lots of drivers, because Uber has no freaking idea. This is why when a convention is happening, this is where most of me and the crew from the WhatsApp group, we just go right to the convention center and we sit there and we park and we just cherry pick all day. And the bonus tip here is just go on Google and type in your local convention center and look at when they're having events, right? You can actually look in the Uber app and sometimes it'll show you some of those events, but I prefer to just bookmark from Google the actual convention center so I can just quickly check every month what the conventions are going on and how many people are roughly coming. Use that to your advantage. Number 5, downtown districts. Every city, almost in all of America, has a downtown. This is cocktail chaos. You got restaurants, you got bars, you got businesses, you got offices, you got wedding venues, you got restaurants. It's basically hotel city after hotel city. Everything in a particular city generally revolves around the key point or the key location, which is downtown. Now you have big downtowns like downtown San Diego, downtown Los Angeles, downtown Orange County, right? But even the smaller cities have downtowns. Like there's a downtown Pomona, there's a downtown Chino Hills, there's a downtown Fontana, there's a downtown in every city. So where there are downtowns, just consider parking there at the right time at the right place, because it'll save you from using dead miles. Downtowns are like a rideshare buffet. You just need to know the right dish to grab. One quick cheat code. In any city where there's a lot of tourists, there's going to be parking meters, right? Or parking spots or public parking, but they charge you money for it, right? That's one way you know there's going to be a lot of foot traffic, right? And if you're in a downtown, especially in California, there's parking meters everywhere, right? That's how you know you're at a good location where there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of foot traffic, and you can possibly cherry pick from this particular location. Downtowns also have many entertainment areas like concerts. You got comedy clubs, you got live music, right? And you definitely got nightlife. And during lunchtime, if you're near a downtown in California, from around 10:30 in the morning to around 1:30 in the afternoon, you can just do Uber Eats, right? You get lots of orders. I don't personally like to do that because certain downtowns you can't find a parking. And if you're going to end up getting a parking ticket, Uber Eats is just not going to be worth it. It's going to take you a whole day's earnings to pay for that parking ticket, right? But they are good for Uber Eats, DoorDash. How these 5 locations work together. This is the most important part of this chapter, and I've kind of been hinting it to you, but pay very close attention to this. From the airport, you can go to the convention center or the hotel. From the convention center or the hotel, you can go to the amusement park. From the amusement park, you can go into the high-end hotels or resorts. From the high-end hotels or resorts, you can go to the convention center or downtown events. From the convention, high-end hotel, and downtown, you can go back to the airport again. Basically, what I'm trying to teach you with these 5 locations are these 5 primary locations all work together like they're a family. And every city has them. Small city has them, big cities have them. It's just up for you to figure out if it works for you or not. Once you get to one of these 5 primary locations, just sit down like a sniper and pick those rides off. The big ones, the big cherry picking rides. One last thing, Uber doesn't want you to figure out these 5 primary locations because they have their own map, right? Have you seen the latest map? You wait 15 minutes, is a ride guaranteed? I call bullshit, right? That's just to move you guys around because too many of you are scattered and waiting at a hotspot, and Uber's trying to push people around with fake surges, right? Now, process this for a second. You're driving Uber, you're doubtful if you're going to make money or not. The doubt's going to go into frustration. Once you get frustrated, you might get anxiety. You get anxiety, you might get depression, or you might get depressed. You get depressed, you might get angry. See how that works? These are psychological tricks that Uber plays to frustrate you, put you into depression, put you in anxiety, put you into anger. And how many times have you made the right decision when you're angry or you're frustrated or you're anxious or you're depressed? You don't. You make bad decisions. That's the whole point of this algorithm. They don't want to teach you these primary locations because then all the drivers would start doing them. And that's why I made this video. If you're the kind of driver that's listening to this chapter and taking notes already and thinking about, well, I got this location here, I got this location here, and I can do this, well, you're 99% ahead of all the other drivers. And if you want to take this a little further, I've started a course called Start Your Own Rideshare Business. It's the first link in the description. Black Friday is around the corner. Go ahead, use this code, and you will get 50% off up until the end of Black Friday. I might extend it to Cyber Monday. Now you know where to sit for primary hotspot locations. Next, let me show you how to find spots that print money, like our GOV, and which spots are just burning your gas and your patience. Chapter 2, what makes locations truly valuable and profitable? Not all locations are created equally. Here's what separates the good locations from the trash. Supply and demand. Pay attention to this. You want to be parked at a location where the supply of drivers is less and the supply of passengers is more. Over time, this will become muscle memory, and you'll be able to do this on autopilot. You'll just know which areas generally have less drivers and which areas generally have more drivers. Quality of rides. You want to find locations that are going to give you $1 a minute, which is around $60 an hour. I do this almost 80% of the rides that I take, right? You don't want to be doing 5 rides for $7 and barely making $24 in an hour. You're just spreading yourself too thin. You're going to be tired. You're going to run out of energy. So the quality of ride you pick is very important. Look for rides that are going to be paying you $1 a minute. And once you find these locations, start cherry picking and parking there. Freeway access. I tend to park within 2-3 minutes of where I can enter the freeway, rather than being 10-15 minutes deep into the streets or into the city where I'm going to have to drive in the streets and waste time. Being close to the freeway is going to allow you to go from hotspot to hotspot without getting stuck at stop sign and red lights. And you probably already know the chances of getting into an accident are a lot higher at a stop sign intersection or a red light, whereas on the freeways, the chances of getting into an accident is a lot lower. Repeat potential, another one that I want you to pay attention to. I've said this before in my videos. When you go from one location and you drop off a person in another location, you want to be able to pick up another passenger from the location where you're dropping them off. That's the only reason why you should take that ride. Otherwise, you're going to get left stranded. You're going to have to do some dead miles. You're going to put more miles on your car. You're going to waste your time. Your time is important. Time is money, folks. Timing window. It is very important you get to your hotspot location at the right time. For example, you want to get to the airport when the flights are landing or when passengers need to be dropped off at the airport, right? Now, if you want me to make a video on timing, because I've shown you this in the past where the morning window, the afternoon window, and the evening window, but there's actually 5 different windows. Just let me know in the comments. Enough people let me know. I will definitely do a deep dive in that video. County line and surge trick. Now this one is very unique because I learned this on Halloween. On Halloween day, in every city, there's a county, right? For me, there's Los Angeles County and the San Bernardino County. These are the 2 counties that are very close to me. I was in Los Angeles County, and for half an hour on Halloween day in the evening, I was getting no rides. And I'm like, this is bullshit. Then I just went 30 feet over, 40 feet over, and I ended up in San Bernardino County. And it was surging. $19 surge, $15 surge, $20 surge. The fact that I was on the wrong side of the county line, I wasn't getting any offers. Just by moving over less than 2 blocks, I started getting all the surges, and that's where I realized county line. In California, we have a lot of county lines. You have Los Angeles County, you have San Bernardino County, you have Riverside County, you have Orange County, you've got San Diego County, like county after county after county. And I've never shared this trick before. Figure out where you live and where the county line is. And sometimes it's better to be on the other side, or just go 1 mile or half a mile over to the other side of the county and see if you get better opportunities. For some reason, the Uber and the rideshare Lyft app algorithm on one side of the county versus the other side of the county, they're like mad at each other. They're not talking to each other. I don't understand that. I honestly don't understand why it happens, but I learned it by accident. Robot car zones. This is a new one. You must have noticed by now there's a company called Waymo. Now, Google owns that company, right? Or Alphabet or whatever. So I can't talk bad about it because then they'll throttle this video. But my point is this, just pay attention to if in your city Waymo is there or Robotaxi is there, or there's 5 other companies that are doing this. If they are there, whatever city these robots are driving in, the chances of getting rides are gonna go lower. Trust me. I've seen this happen to me in Los Angeles, in Santa Monica, in Culver City, in West Hollywood. Whenever I end up in these locations, the chances of me cherry picking goes lower and lower and lower. You live in a city and it has Waymo. Try not to drive in that city. Try to find another city where you can drive if possible. Next, let me show you the sneaky in between locations that I go to when I get stuck or when I'm too far away from a primary hotspot locations. I basically use these smaller secondary locations as stepping stones in order to get to the primary location. Ideally, you want to be at the primary location all day, but that doesn't always happen. Like, we make mistakes. We're human beings. We weren't meant to be perfect. Chapter 3, Secondary Hotspot Locations, Bucket Number 2. These are your backup dancers. They're not center stage, but they still got the moves. I hit these locations when I am a little bit too far away from my 5 primary locations. And these secondary locations are fantastic in order to reposition yourself to a better location. Think of it like waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning when you gotta go to the bathroom and go pee-pee. You handle your business, but you don't sit there and just relax and take it easy in the bathroom, right? The same logic applies here. You use secondary locations in order to leapfrog to a better position, better zone, better location. Let me break these down for you. Number 6, Costco, Walmart, IKEA. These I call super centers. These places are more than discount haven or heaven. They are more like places where you go to get rotisserie chicken at a discount. They are ride magnets, and now you're probably wondering, how is that possible? Because Costco's, Walmart's, IKEA's, they're smack dab placed right in the middle of high density population communities, which means lots of people that might need a ride. They're like urban GPS beacons for ordinary people. These people don't want to carry a 42 pack of toilet paper on the bus, right? These aren't fancy rides, but frequently you can possibly get a ride out of these locations. Personally, I wait around 30 minutes. If I get a hit, I'll take it to relocate. Otherwise, I'll bounce out. Bonus tip, if you're at a Costco, go get that $1.50 hot dog with the free soda. And while you're at it, go ahead and put air in your tires for free. And that's called multi-purpose cherry picking. Bonus secondary locations that are similar to these are also malls and outlets. Some malls and outlets act like all-day people factories. In Orange County, you have places like Fashion Island Mall where a lot of wealthy people go. You got South Coast Plaza. In San Diego, you got Mission Valley. In Los Angeles, you got Beverly Hills. These are places where wealthy people that like to go and spend in luxury. And if they got money and they got high-end restaurants by these malls, the chances of you picking up a big ride are a lot higher. What I'm trying to say here is anywhere where you see constant foot traffic, shopping areas, restaurants, these are places worth waiting at in order to get a ride versus doing dead miles. Number 7, big hospitals, VA clinics, and surgery centers. Hospitals are a little bit weird. Sometimes there are ghost towns. Sometimes you get a tsunami of rides from here. But here's what you need to know. Trip coordinator rides, the ones I tried to avoid, were from the hospitals or VA clinic or the surgery center. The chances of you getting those are a lot higher, and you already know the insurance or the hospital is paying for these rides. Uber's definitely going to take a 70% cut, but that's okay. Now, you got nurses that have been working here for 12 to 15 hours. They're tired. They want to go home. The hospital is actually going to pay for the Uber XL or Comfort ride to get home safely, right? It's not safe to drive when you've been working your butt off for 12 to 15 hours, like us. You also have medical students who are residents, and sometimes they're putting in a 15, 18, 20-hour shift, right? Hospital will pay for these rides. They sometimes show up as trip coordinators, and hospital wants to get them home safely so they can work them the next day. VA hospitals are reliable rides because the government's paying for these, right? They served our country, and that's the least we can do for them. So this is why I said big hospitals, VA clinics, and surgery centers are also a good spot to just check as a secondary location. Like I said, these aren't flashy rides. This is why this is secondary locations, but sometimes they're reliable. Number 8 is going to be universities and colleges. UCLA, USC, San Diego State University, UC San Diego, you name it. Every big city has 3 to 5 universities or colleges where there's lots of students. And here's the thing with colleges or universities these days. Most of these kids don't have a car and they don't even know how to drive. Just look at how many of them have the Waymo disease. And I'm trying to be funny, but I'm also being serious here. Next time you're by a college or a university and that city has Waymo, just look at how many of them are sitting in a Waymo to go home, or how many Waymos are parked around the colleges. Lastly, what I'm going to share with this is Uber Eats. College towns are notorious for Uber Eats orders. Lunchtime, dinner time, weekends, it's a great place to do deliveries, right? It'll keep you busy all day. Plus, mom and dad are paying for the Uber Eats order anyways. And I know this for a fact because back in the days when I was in college, my mom used to give me $2 a day for lunch. And I took that $2, got a Junior Whopper from Burger King. And I still remember to this day because you could get it for 99 cents. Some college towns even have retired folks, right? Like San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara. There are retired people there, as well as there are college towns or college cities, right? And that's a great combo because these students can't drive or they don't have cars. And a lot of older people that are retired have money, but they don't want to drive their car. They probably might not even be allowed to drive their car. And maybe they don't want to park it or find parking because, all the parking spots are taken over. So a combination of college towns with a retired community is also a great location if you live near one of those places. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is being around a college and learning the patterns when it's hot, when it's cold, can lead to easy rides for you. And it's a good secondary backup location. Number 9, transit hubs, Greyhound, Amtrak, train stations, bus stations. Think of these like humanitarian work. You're not gonna get rich over here, but you're doing community service by taking these rides. These locations shine early in the morning. You might be taking somebody to a bus station or a train stop, and then in the evening, when they arrive and they need to ride back home, those are the times where these tend to do pretty well for me. Use them to reposition. That's it. These are not primary locations. These are secondary locations. Drop somebody off at the train station. Drop somebody off at the bus station. Once you drop them off, just wait 15 minutes. There's a chance another train or another bus is coming. That person that gets off might need a ride, and you can use that to reposition yourself to the next location. Number 10 is the mystery spot. And my friends, this is where you come in the picture. I left this one blank on purpose. What is your secret hotspot location that you would like to share with the other drivers in the community? Is it a big tech company? Is it a casino? I don't know what it is. Why don't you let me know in the comments? You help me, I help the other drivers, and that's how this channel works. But this is just part 1 of Uber Location Bible. In part 2, this is what I'm covering. How to find your own favorite locations in any city. Occasional hotspot locations, bucket number 3. When to stay put and when to move locations. And I'll finally break down my simple 3-direction rule. The way I decide where to drive next when I have no idea where to go. If this video helped you at all, in the comments below, please drop your hotspot location so YouTube and TikTok will share this video with other drivers. It's all about the engagement. The more you engage with this video and myself, the more they open up the YouTube and TikTok algorithm and share it with everybody else, which is other drivers. And absolutely subscribe, follow, like the video, because that helps me out so I can help more drivers. When you're ready, click the video on the screen and watch part 2, and God bless you. Rewatch this video a few times. Take notes. You'll know exactly where to move instead of playing Uber roulette.